Tupac's back today on.
Don't intro over the intro.
Yeah, no interception this week. I broke so many things.
Yeah. I hope you learned your lesson.
Yeah, never
you
again.
You think about what you did.
All those intros and all those graphics.
You sit
really
in that
broke
box
OBS today when I turned it on.
Think about it.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to another episode of Press Me to Cancel, your favorite Tupac-related podcast this week. I'm your host, Sick Jake, joined by three lovely guys. Guys, it is Summer Games Fest. It is my favorite time of the year. Next to my kids' birthdays and my wife's anniversaries and all that stuff, I'm sure. Anyway, this Summer Games Fest is the week. It's not E3. It's like, not E3. It's Jeff Keighley's baby. Every year, Sony and PlayStation and Nintendo, they all tend to release gaming announcements in 1 week or two period. And Jeff Keighley, for the last 6-7 years, has plunked a special event right in the middle, and he gets all these different announcements and trailers. And we watched those trailers today, or some of us did, and we also watched some of the trailers and announcements from Sony State of Play earlier this week, and we're here to talk about them. But I can't do that alone. No, I'm joined by Sinistar. How you doing this week?
I'm doing well. The beard is, I'm growing the beard out, and it's at the shaggy phase where I'm either going to shave it or fight through it and try to grow it further.
Speaking of no farming games this year, Bull, how you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. I started playing Mina this week, so
nice.
I look forward to see how that game unfolds.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to do an episode on Mina at some point with you guys. I beat it last night, so I definitely have thoughts for an episode. And speaking of thoughts, Chard, you're here this week. How you doing?
I am also growing my hair out, but it's past the point where I'm tired of it, so I'm just going to let it go. If you haven't noticed already. It's Summerfest, guys. It's summery. It's time for summer. It's raining outside, so of course it's summer in Washington.
Yeah.
It's time to grow the beard out. It's summer.
Yeah, it's summer. Grow your hair long and your beards long, and get ready for some fun. Go for some fucking games, guys. Sorry.
Time to shave my head and get a sunburn when I start cutting the grass, which I have to cut the lawn this week. I've been really lazy cutting the grass. I have to do that this week. Summer Games Fest. Okay, so this is but we're doing this on YouTube, but we also this is for the audio podcast. We're recapping announcements from Sony State of Play and the Summer Games Fest, and I think Wolf, you mentioned a game from the Latin event as well. So we're gonna do that. But if you're interested, if you have not watched Summer Games Fest, we did do a live stream earlier today. That's also on the YouTube. So if you listen to the audio episode on Monday and you're curious to see these trailers, give that a listen. Go over to our YouTube channel and watch that stream. That was a really fun time. It's 2 hours of game announcements, but this episode of the podcast, as a recap, will not be 2 hours. We promise. I hope.
Our wives will kill us.
Yes, especially today. So I'm gonna run through. I got a list of the big announcements, but and we'll talk a little bit about each one. The ones that I think we're excited for, or some of us are excited for. I will say before we get into it, God damn, is this not a Chart event? Because every other game was zombies or horror related. It was wild, and not a farming game to be seen, which is nuts.
You can farm body parts.
Did we see a mobile game? I didn't see a mobile game.
No mobile?
Actually, no. Withering Waves, maybe, but it's also a console game, I think. It might be a mobile game, too. You're right, actually. We didn't see the next... Who's the guys who make...
Cyberpunk.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Hoyoverse, right? Honkai Star Rail, and then that other game.
Oh, yeah.
They have not had any game this year. I'm kind of surprised. They usually have something. So that's Zenless Zone Zero, I think, was their thing last year. So they didn't have anything. Interesting. Actually, that's a good point. No mobile games. That's interesting. All right. So I'm going to start with one game. Actually, I just put it on the list really quickly because I know, Chard, I know you and I were both seeing this before. Tenebrae Subminia. It was part of the Latin games showcase this week, and I watched the trailer. The trailer, not a whole lot of new in it, but I encourage anybody who's interested in really graphic, cool pixel art to check it out. It's a survival horror game with live action cutscenes between.
This game is really clever. It's really clever. We played the demo of it a couple months ago. It was a while. It's probably a year now since we've been waiting for this one. But
so really interesting to see a trailer for it. Still no release date though. Still no release date. But when that comes out, I think that's definitely one I want to pick up. The idea of taking like real action live actor cutscenes, but then cutting to gameplay that looks like a LucasArts game or something. It almost reminds me of Maniac Mansion at first. but it's not a point and click. It looks like it is a survival horror game. It's pretty rad.
Yes.
So
It's fun. It's definitely got some cool features to it, and the juxtaposition that Jake's bringing up of it, live action cutscenes, actual actors and actresses, and then it goes back to like barely 16-bit graphics. But it's good. It's scary. Like there's some good jump scares in that game that I was not expecting there to be. And I was really impressed with at least the cinematography of the game is quite impressive. So check that shit out. That's going to be a really cool one.
Okay. And then for, I guess, PlayStation State of Play, that was a pretty banger of a show. I got to own a PlayStation. I think out of all of us, who owns PlayStations here? Chard does, right? Sinistar,
Wolf,
he does too.
I have a PS4.
Okay,
Same.
So because for a PS5, like I'm not going to buy a PS5 at this point. They're too expensive. The cost went up again, like all consoles. But I watched the show generally because of game announcements are usually on PlayStation, but also end up usually on PC. Especially, I was really excited before this month because a lot of the single player games from PlayStation used to come to PC. So God of War, Ragnarok. We also had Death Stranding. They were coming to PC, but then Sony kind of announced they're pulling back on the single player narrative games and keeping those exclusive to the console, which I get it. It sucks.
Yeah, but that's some bullshit too.
It is some bullshit. Agreed.
But
that's a weird move given that the consoles are getting more expensive. You're not going to sell more units.
And how much money have they made selling their shit on Steam? I mean, really?
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, even having to wait the year for something to come out, that's enough, right? I would think that's plenty.
Yeah.
Just to give it its console release or whatever, and then allowing the rest of us who have PCs that can run it better than your PlayStation 5 can, let us have it. Like it's ridiculous.
Maybe that's what it is they're getting shown up.
I wouldn't doubt that at this point. I wouldn't doubt that.
Maybe.
I mean, shit. Everything to buy a console or a PC is, we don't need to talk about that. That's ridiculous right now. So understandable.
For me, like Sony chased me off when it came to, they released Horizon Forbidden West on PS4. And then a few months later announced the DLC would be PS5 only.
Right.
And it's like, why are you going to release a video game on the PS4 and then decide, fuck all y'all that bought it for the PS4. This is PS5 exclusive, just this DLC. And I was like, that's shady. I don't care for that. And so that actually chased me away from buying a PS5.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of what Nintendo's been doing with the Switch, right? Is like, if you already own it on the... Yeah. Anyway.
But if they are doing DLC, like I recently bought Bella Park for Mario Wonder. I told myself I wasn't going to, but I wanted the 4K Mario, so I did it. But Bella Park was actually pretty fun. So I felt it was actually better value than I was expecting. But they're doing a lot of that. So you can play Breath of the Wild yet again on the Switch 2, and it has enhancements, which is funny because it's a game that originally came out on the Wii U like a decade ago. But anyway, before we get off topic, so Sony is like pulling back on the single player exclusives. So I was kind of curious to see what would show up on this event for the State of Play and what I might be missing out on. And the show started off incredibly strong. It started off with Wolverine, which is from Insomniac, right? The guys who did Spider-Man. And those Spider-Man games are pretty widely critically acclaimed and excellent.
They're fantastic. All three of them are great.
And so we got to see this really gory trailer of Short King Wolverine. So what did you guys think of that?
I think it looks so my take obviously is it looks like a Batman Arkham game. Yeah. But to Jake's point, we've talked offline. To Jake's point, so does like every other battle game. Yeah. Right? Like
it's pretty much the thing. Yeah.
It's and so I mean honestly, I will probably play it. I'll just wait for a sale. Because I'm sure I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I comes to PC after all.
Right. Yeah. I'm not the biggest Wolverine supporter. I dig him as a character, but he's never been like, oh my God, the coolest character ever. I'm more of a Spider-Man guy. So having those come out was sick. But having Insomniac do this, I figured it was going to be pretty good. And I like over the top, gory, beat the shit out of you kind of games. And and playing through all three Spider-Men and then having this Wolverine be like a pretty big change in that theme. Because it's gory and it looks great. Like I was like, okay, I was watching it. I was pretty jacked. So this will not be a first day buy, but it will fall on my PlayStation 5 at some point. This is going to be a lot of fun.
And they did all the fan service too, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I mean, Jean Grey, Sabretooth,
Omega Red.
Wolverine,
There's
Omega,
a bunch of really cool characters in there that I'm
the ones
I'm pretty
you wanted
jacked
there,
to see.
right? For sure.
Yeah. I mean, the moment I saw Sabretooth, I was like, there it is.
Yeah, done. Absolutely done.
So the thing for me was when I saw it was like the big selling point for me was never the combat in Spider-Man, because like you're right, Sinistar, it is Arkham combat. Arkham combat has pretty much defined the genre for since Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah,
even that Lego game, Lego Batman, they actually hired the guys over at Rocksteady to help with the combat, to bring an Arkham style combat to a Lego game, which is wild to me. But for me, Spider-Man,
it's a good combat system.
Yeah,
it's a good combat. I mean,
but they all do. Even
else.
007 does it, and that's a brand new game.
It's a big deal.
Playing that, it's wild. But the thing with Spider-Man was the movement and the open city. Like you're really web swinging across the entire map, and that is a pretty cool feature of Spider-Man. So I was curious to see what they would do with Wolverine, because Wolverine famously does not fucking fly. He just kills things and heals. That's all he does.
He floats a lot.
Wait,
he floats a lot. Jean Grey throws him around a little bit.
I was going to say Jean Grey just helps him.
Yeah. So
Magneto does it from time to time too.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
But then he's kind of
takes things from him.
Yeah. Right.
So I was wondering about the mobility, and it turns out there's some follow-up interviews with the developer team, and it is not an open world game like Spider-Man at all. It is a linear game, story-driven game with Wolverine combat. So it is very much a different kind of game, which makes sense. But I don't know if it's going to do as well. Like, am I wrong in there? Is like, are you guys really hyped for a story-driven Wolverine game?
Really quick, just as an aside, my favorite Arkham game is Arkham Asylum, which is pretty much on rails, and I love it. Anyway, sorry, Wolf, go ahead.
Agreed.
Yeah, my take is, given the storytelling style of the Spider-Man games, I expect the Wolverine game story to absolutely knock people's socks off.
Agreed.
Not only that, but like it looks like it's based on what I saw, it looks like it's in a world where the X-Men never existed. And they're still like the X-Men characters are still a bit older than they would have been when the X-Men formed. So like it seems like an interesting, somewhat different take on the characters as a franchise. And it also seems like it pulls from a lot of different aspects of the Wolverine comics. You got black tie Wolverine in there at one point.
Yeah.
Well, you have Sabretooth in an X-Men uniform. Like that was a little weird too.
Yeah, it might just be different X-Men because it looked like, I don't know, Wolverine. I didn't really notice an X on his suit. It just looked like his suit without the X-Men branding, maybe?
It was his Deadpool movie suit is basically what they're kind of leaning into on that one. Being kind of the, I guess, the Spider-Man buff of the group. Insomniac takes liberties with the stories. Like Spider-Man 2, which is fine. It's definitely a different universe because Spider-Man 2 has Venom, and Venom is Eddie Brock, but in that it's Osborn. So it was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird take. It worked fine, and I was cool with it. But at the same time, the fucking actually guy in the back of my head was like, this isn't accurate. So I'm sure Insomniac's going to take liberties with some of the story. There may be like the X-Men fell out and they're all rogue doing their thing, or there was none. I'm interested to see what they do. But to Sinistar's point, I also love Arkham Asylum. It's a great game, and the combat in it's fantastic. And having an open world Wolverine to me would seem weird. Spider-Man makes sense because you've got all of New York to explore.
Yeah,
he's high flying, he web slings, he goes over the place. Wolverine's just going to crawl up walls and stuff with his claws. So having more of a linear story driven thing, bro, I was riding that fucking roller coaster from start to finish, man. I'm like, I didn't think I was going to love this game. He throws the motorcycle at somebody. He's fighting people on the back of a moving truck. I was like, this is sick. I want to do this. So I was surprisingly really excited after watching that. That was a really good start to the state of play, in my opinion. I was hooked from that point on.
Yeah, I was surprisingly disappointed that I probably won't be playing this.
Don't live far from me. You can come and hang out and play with me.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Sony pulls their head out. Because I mean, honestly,
maybe
like,
we'll see.
the PC world has been a cash cow for him. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's free
I don't
money.
understand. I
Because like
don't
none of us are
understand.
buying the
Wonder-
PS5 anyway, right? Like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I feel
gotta
like
wonder,
honestly
and-
with I think
Go ahead.
with this, if they changed this policy with the launch of a PS6 whenever that comes out, it would make sense to me. We're new hardware, we want you to pay for it. Here's the exclusive games. It makes sense. But to announce you want to make exclusives now after you've set a trend of single player ones on PC and now you want to pull it back for the console you just raised the price on. The console's so old, not old, but it's dated at this point. It would almost
It's
a
6
waste
years,
for me to buy one right now, right? Because I'm not going to get that full generation out of it. I don't know. It feels weird to me. I don't like it either. But that's Sony. It's they're not the only company with exclusives. Xbox is talking the same thing. Nintendo, of course, has their exclusives. That makes sense. I get it. But I was a little disappointed as well. So
I gotta wonder if like companies like Insomniac are like, but no,
we just want to make games.
we like
as
the computer people. Give it to the computer people.
As we're gonna see when we get through our list here, fucking Square was like, fuck that noise. We're releasing on everything same day.
Yeah.
Same fucking day.
Yeah.
And that's very unsquare of Square.
It is.
But it is money.
Yes.
And they don't like losing money. So
Yeah.
that's very clear.
Well, we should move on. So
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's good. So moving on to the next game, it's Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, which not a console exclusive. It's on PS5 and on PC. This is from Arc System Works.
Yeah.
You guys hyped for this one, or is that just me?
Yes. If you're gonna put Carnage as a villain to fight, dude, I'm fuck. As soon as Carnage came out, I was like sold. I was like, Green Goblin, cool. Okay, that's cool. Carnage,
Doom,
sold. But
Magneto.
This is
Yeah.
the only thing. This is the one that like basically like every fucking move paused the thing, right?
I think that's more of a trailer thing, to be honest with you. We'll have to see in the reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love a good fighting game. Fuck, I played Injustice. I've played, of course, the Mortal Kombats. I've platinumed or diamond ranked Street Fighter at least 7 times now.
At least 7 times.
Well, that's not
we do it on lunch.
Yeah.
We do it on lunch.
Yeah, I do it on lunch after I've finished Marble Madness. But but if it plays like the trailer, honestly, that would drive me nuts.
Fair.
To have like a pause every time you do a I'm like, yeah.
I don't think it plays like that, but I will say that. So this is the guys who do. They do a lot of the anime fighters. They did Dragon Ball Z's fighters. They did famously Guilty Gear. This is a studio that made Guilty Gear, and I love Strive. Strive is a great fighting game. It's multiple years out, lots of new characters, and it's pretty fun, pretty fresh gameplay, and pretty easy to pick up and play, which is why I got into it. In that game, there is cancels that, from what I recall, pause briefly, but they're cancels. They use a meter, so it's not like you're doing it every second. So I am curious to see what the gameplay is. There was betas, open betas for this, or closed betas for Tokon, but I think it was only PS5. So because they've had an issue where they do betas on PC and people hack the client to keep it playing. So they don't do betas on PC much anymore. But I am curious to see this one. This one comes out in August. So we'll have to see what the reviews are like. But I'm pretty hyped for it. Because it's also another game where it's Marvel characters, but it's a special spin on it. Like Iron Man looks like he's a fucking Gundam, right? Like they've taken liberties, like Sonic does, but they've kind of gone out of their wheelhouse on the characters. And I like that, because the worst thing you can do if you're doing a Marvel game is have any attachment to the films, because that's such a continuity is such a strange thing. Like it's such a separate thing. If you try and mimic that in any way, I think fans get that uncanny valley effect. So when you take the Marvel characters and go batshit crazy, like that Overwatch clone, Marvel Rivals, does that as well, where their take on the Marvel characters is so out of left field, and it's great, right? They have that variety. So Tokon,
but they also have a lot of different characters that you wouldn't expect to see in Rivals. Like Cloak and Dagger is such a random group of characters to have. I mean, it works perfect for that style of gameplay. But nobody goes, oh yeah, my favorite characters are Cloak, and I don't know who the fuck would even knows who the hell those two are. The fact they were
Jeff
in that game,
the Shark is a character in Rivals.
Like you gotta have some pretty deep lore to understand some of the characters they're pulling out. So it's
I will say I'm a little worried about the price on it, because obviously it's got the Marvel stank. And I'm sorry, but I will not pay $70 for a fighting game. I will not.
Yeah. So here's the thing with fighting games. There's a gut punch here. I'm hoping they don't do what Arc System usually does, which is Guilty Gear has a single player mode. They have a story mode. In Guilty Gear Strive, it's actually unplayable. It's more like a visual novel story mode. They don't really do story modes like fighting games have been doing lately, right? Like when you play Street Fighter 6, there's a whole open world-ish world tour mode. When you play the modern Mortal Kombat games, there's a pretty great story in those games. And that's a fairly recent thing in fighting games. And it's not like it's something we've always had, right? We didn't have a story mode in Street Fighter 2 back in the 90s or anything like that. But Arc System is more of that classic design. It's mostly an online fighting game, or like you play locally with friends. And I don't want to pay $70 either, Sinister. I'm with you. I don't want to pay that for a game that if I play online, I'm probably going to rage quit pretty quickly.
Right.
I'm not diamond ranking nothing in Tokon or Guilty Gear. So we'll see. They've said there's a story mode, but they said it's different than Guilty Gear, but I don't know what that means. And I guess we'll have to see. But I don't expect much. And also, it's a fighting game from Arc, which means there's going to be DLC characters because they all do that now. Every
and
of them.
In Marvel, they're going to be add more superheroes and more villains and more shit. They're
going to take you for a ride.
Well, and they're gonna pick characters people really care about to be DLC, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
like Tifa.
Yes,
we'll get there. All right. So Tokon's really cool. I'm gonna wait for reviews, but I would like to play that. But that's in August. And then next up is Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis. Okay, so that you guys like the trailer of this one. This one almost looked like a callback to the original Tomb Raider.
Yep. Yeah, it's a reimagining of the original in the new style, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that looked badass.
If it is basically, I mean, I look at it almost as like a remaster of the original. And if it's that and it has the puzzle aspect and all of that, like, fuck yes, I'm in.
So
I'd buy this for my wife. She'd like this.
The reason I'm bringing this one up is it hit the news lately that on the Steam listing, because Steam requires you to acknowledge if you used AI in the creation of your game. And there's an AI disclaimer on the Steam page for this game. And the developer clarified what they did is they used AI to generate, what do you call it? The concept drawings and sketches. And also they used Gen AI to generate early textures that were then hand refined by human artists. So this is where we're now entering the phase of, at least they disclosed it. Many companies I don't think are even gonna dare disclose their AI use.
Yeah,
and it's going to come down to fine line of where do you draw the line as a gamer and fan of where you want to support your dev studios. Do you care at all that Gen AI is used? Gen AI, I don't like it depending on what it's trained on. If I know if this was AI art trained on the artist's own assets to make more, that's fine. I don't care. That's what I think that's the best use case for AI. But are they using like the Adobe stuff to make their textures? Because the Adobe's trained on artwork that, the source of that is nebulous sometimes, right? Or are they using like, hopefully not something like Midjourney to generate their textures?
Here's the rub that you run into is it's a whack-a-mole, problem, right? Like, to your point, it's like, is the AI, I mean, because honestly, every AI is now trained on fucking Rembrandt and, and so like, but at the same time, it's like, if it helps a game develop in a better way, and they're not using it for the final work, they're using it for concept art.
Right.
The thing that I saw a good argument on Blue Sky about concept art is, why would you use Gen AI to generate concept work when you want original ideas for concept work? That's the whole point of concept artwork, is to give you a vision of how your game is unique. But if you're using Gen AI that's trained on everybody else's work, then is it really truly unique? And I think that's the issue I'm having with that. So
that makes sense.
Not something we can answer on this episode for sure, guys.
In the world, in the world of Tomb Raider, though, it's like, hey, give me a concept in 2026 that looks like Tomb Raider from 1995. Like,
yeah, maybe
it's got its own source to pull from, right? And so I don't know that that's the case. Anyway, sorry, Wolf.
It does. I do want to mention, like, there are a lot of people who make their living doing concept art for things. So, like, that's iffy on the concept art part. The textures being redone by somebody, like, sometimes you're just looking at a white board and you're like, okay, where do I get a texture from a white sheet,
or a wooden board?
So if you have a jumping off point that you can treat up and make look real nice, I'm for that as a tool if it's not the finished product, but it's worked on and used as a jumping off point. I'm a little iffy on the concept artwork thing.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the other thing is, I mean, is how much of the like it's a scale, right? Like, I don't know. I use AI in my job, and but I also kind of hate using AI in my job. So like,
yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. Was the concept artwork literally like an executive just threw it in and like gave the team a dozen images? Like, I want it to look like this. And then they hired the team to do the usual shit. Is that the extent of we don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
we don't know.
I mean, without knowing how it was used, like specifically, it's hard to judge and, get on people's cases about things.
Yeah. And to your point, Jake, they did disclose it. And so that does actually carry some weight. That does carry a little bit of weight.
Like, in a perfect world, every developer would disclose the AI use. They're supposed to, but just because they're supposed to doesn't mean that every company will, and that's a thing. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Again, not something nobody's going to solve it this year, but I think over time we're definitely going to see AI being used more by studios, and I think it's going to be on the consumer to really say, hey, we don't mind these use cases, but these use cases, like, come on now, right? Like, there's some things people will tolerate and some things they won't, but yeah, we'll have to see. But I did want to highlight that one. Otherwise, the trailer was really good. Before I heard about the Gen AI stuff, I'm like, oh, this actually looks pretty legit.
I love the original Tomb Raider games. I would love to see something modern that plays like those.
Yeah. All right. But that's coming out February of next year, and that's on everything, even on Switch. The Lost Wild. Who marked this one?
I did. Lost Wild it's another horror survivor game. But it's with dinosaurs, and it looked really fucking cool. I thought the concept of the dinosaur aspect of trying to get around, because it's by Annapurna, and Annapurna is working on the new Silent Hill, which we'll talk about here probably shortly. And when I saw Annapurna's name, I was like, oh, this is it. This is going to be Townfall. And I was like, no, this is something totally different. And I like the idea of being in a survivor horror game, like Dino Crisis kind of thing, but instead of being futuristic, it felt like Jurassic Park, the game,
it's like present
but
day.
A little bit, yeah.
It looked pretty. I was pretty interested in it. We don't have to talk very much in depth about it. There wasn't a whole lot to show except for some cinematic look at it. But Annapurna's got some pretty good stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one does. So The Lost Wilds, I think that's on. Yeah, it's on both PC and PlayStation 5. So you'll have your opportunities to play it on either one of the two systems. So that'll be cool.
I will say that I know, like, I really, with all the Resident Evil remakes happening, I'm surprised that Capcom hasn't said, all right, fine, we'll do Dino Crisis. Like, the original Dino Crisis was a pretty great game. Like, was it a Resident Evil spin, like, ripoff? In some ways, yeah, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah.
But a lot of those games at that time were Resident Evil ripoffs. I mean,
that's true, yeah.
Silent Hill's all Resident Evil ripoffs, let's be honest.
Hey, all the battle games are Arkham Asylum ripoffs. I mean,
fucking A.
Next one was Phantom Blade Zero. And I know when we were watching this live, or when I was starting that live, when I was watching this earlier this week, the first thing I said was, that's a fucking chart game.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this one for, I think, 3 years since I've seen the original trailer. I've been keeping I followed S Games on YouTube because I really wanted to see what they were doing. This is one of those games. It's like, this would be really cool if this actually exists. Like, if they're really doing a game like this would be badass, and this would make Sekiro like look easy. Like, this looks very, very cool. It's a Souls game for those of you who don't know anything about it. It's, third person Souls-esque like game, but they're trying to make it very clear that this is not a Souls type game, but it has very similar looking combat and similar kind of things. Looks incredible. The fighting looks great. There's a whole bunch of videos that you could see on YouTube outside of, because it was like a 5-second trailer, and it was just a cinematic. It wasn't even any gameplay really, but you can go onto S Game and actually look on YouTube and see a lot of their earlier work on it. And there's like this fight where you're fighting these marionette type enemies. That's a whole boss. And it's just it's a dance. It is like, that's the best way to describe it. It's so fluid and so clean looking that it just, I tell you guys all the time, if I play any game that makes me feel like a badass, this is going to be one of those games that just, you're just going to be sitting there holding the controller, doing some weird ass spin move, and your mouse going to hit the floor. Cause this is so cool looking. And I'm super jacked about it. This is definitely something. It was supposed to come out September 9th, I think, but I heard they pushed it back to October 27th, maybe.
Probably because everything else is coming out September.
Yeah, everything. September is going to be I'm going to be
October
broke as hell during September. But yeah, I think they've pushed it out one more month, but it's damn near. They announced it at the beginning of this year. They said this was coming out in September, so we know it's dropping this year. I just didn't expect it to be pushed back, which is fine. I don't care. As long as it comes out this year, I could give a shit. I'm actually happy it's not coming out in September because then I could save a little more money. Yeah. So it's good for me.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of September, what else is coming out in September? Silent Hill Townfall.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be good though? Like, this is not Blooper, right? This is a different developer.
No,
right?
this is Annapurna and Blackburn Studios that's doing this. So it's completely different. It's not even Akira is not even doing the soundtrack for it. Pilot Priest is doing the soundtrack for it, but he is nailing it on the head.
Oh, Pilot Priest is awesome.
Yeah, he's doing the soundtrack for this, and the opening piano track is straight out of Akira's playbook. So when I first heard it, I was like, yay, they got him back. And then they announced, Pilot Priest was doing it. It's like, oh, so I went and listened to his stuff, and he's done some great work. So I'm super jazzed to see this. This game is near and dear to my heart. This is what I've been waiting for literally all season. I cannot wait to play Silent Hill in first person in the 90s. It's going to be so cool, using the CRTV as kind of the radio for this to solve puzzles and to sneak around. The more gameplay I get of this and the more look I get in this, I am in. I am 100% in on this game. I can't wait to play this, and I will buy this when I get back from my vacation. I will buy this so I can get the Ultimate Edition and get it 3 days fucking early. That's how much I want this.
Don't pay that tax. I hate when
I'm gonna pay the tax. I don't care. I'm gonna get a fucking. I'm gonna get a round table pizza box pyramid head. He's not in the game, but exactly what I got for Silent Hill 2 remake. I cannot wait to play this. This looks so fucking promising. I can't imagine this failing. If this does not play well, I'm gonna be really sad. So you got a lot of games in this list that are all going to be me, guys. So I'm gonna try not to carry.
I'm telling you, we know. This whole presentation. I'm like, that's a chart game. That's a chart.
I think I almost missed this episode. I'm glad I did.
Crazy.
Yeah, it either looks like a Soulsborne or it's a horror game. Yeah. And I mean, I have a horror background as well, but not nearly as much as you do. Like
mine's
I don't know that there have been any horror games on the list. I was hoping to see something for Hellraiser, and we didn't see it. So
yeah, that one looks good too.
I do hope Silent Hill works out. It's just crazy that we have Silent Hill Townfall this year. We had that. What was the one last year? Silent Hill F. And then before that, you had Silent Hill 2 remake. Like, it's been back-to-back Silent Hill games for a couple of years.
And that's their purpose. Next year is going to be Silent Hill 1 remake, and then after that, they're talking about being another Silent Hill of some kind. Konami has said that for the next couple years, we will get a Silent Hill game each and every year coming out. It may be a remake, it may be a different imagination. It's going to be something that's being cooked out. And so far, I know F was a little odd. It was definitely a different build than what we're used to playing, but it's a different studio, different stuff. I liked it. I know it was weird, exceptionally Japanese, but I had a blast playing it, even though it had a little bit of a different take. So I'm excited to see what all these new IPs are doing with the style. I think it's really cool to have other people show their thing. Like Bloopers knocking it out of the park with their stuff. Between Silent Hill 2 remake, obviously the remake 1's going to be a banger, and Chronos was fantastic. So, and Bloopers got another game that I think we're going to probably halfway mention later on.
Don't jump on me. We'll get there.
I'm not jumping the gun.
Speaking of jumping on the next game, it was Ill, which is also releasing on PS5, PC, Xbox in next year.
Yeah,
What the
another
fuck is
zombie
ill?
game.
It's another zombie game. Yeah, like I'm kind of sick of the zombie games. I can't tell them apart
No.
anymore. But I
This is
know
going to
you're
be a
excited for
different
this
spin
one.
on the zombie thing.
Is
So
it?
this was one of those games that came out. This is the same thing with Phantom Blade Zero for me. Was like, I think November showed this game to me many months ago, and I was like, this looks fucking cool if this is actually a game. It is so clean. I mean, it's not clean, it's fucking disgusting, but in that sense, it is clean in the execution of the game that it doesn't look like this could possibly be a real game. And then we're just getting more and more shit for this thing, and I am pumped to play
Is
this.
is this the one that the trailer had like the big fucking giant head like coming through and like wrecking? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
The
For those of
moment
you
I
who are
saw that,
listening, I'm nodding my head frantically. Yes.
yeah, for the
Yes.
moment I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, maybe I do have an interest in this because like
This is
that visual alone, I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
This is
shit.
not a zombie game. From what I'm gathering, this is more of a body dysmorphia game kind of illness thing. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a game where something picked up a wrench and you shot the thing's arm off and it dropped the wrench, and it's like the point of contact is on the creatures, right? You can shoot out their legs, and it's very Dead Space in the sense that you could remove limbs to get an advantage over things like that. I mean, half the dude's face got blown off and he still kept coming at you. So it must not be a zombie game because for God's sakes, the guy had the thing's head in his hand and fucking like crab spider legs came out of the neck. I was like, that's Dead Space, dude. That's might as well be Dead Space at this point.
Yeah, and maybe that's when I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, maybe because you know how much I love Dead Space. So
Yeah,
I'm there with you.
I think it's less zombie and just a lot more just body dysmorphia, uncomfortableness, and just how uncomfortable it makes you feel in this game. These guys were talking over Discord when they were watching the state of play. I had to watch it when I got off of work. And Sinistar typed in here. He's like, "Oh, look, a zombie game." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So then I sit down, I turn it on my TV, I'm watching it, and the two dudes are talking, right? And as soon as I saw the creature, because they're humanoid creatures, but they're pale and weird looking, I was like, "This is ill." And then the dudes, half the face dudes get shot off, and he's still coming at him. I was like, "This is ill," and I lost my shit. I like flipped the couch over. I was so excited to see more stuff for this game.
It smacked it after it got to the point where I was like, okay, maybe it's more than a zombie game. It also definitely had a vibe of like The Thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. That's actually a much better analogy than probably Dead Space for this, because it's not futuristic. It's very much based in either current or past times. This looks great. We talked about it on games that we were excited about a couple episodes ago, and this was one of them.
This is one of
that
them,
I was super jacked about it. And apparently Jake has questioned my sanity after watching the trailers because he's like, "Come on, dude! Wow,
some of these are just wildly gross." Like I don't mind violence in games, but some games lately are just like, "Holy Jesus Christ!" Like Wolverine was too much for me.
You're saying that the violence in Wolverine wasn't gross?
No,
it was pretty gross.
No, I'm saying it was gross. I'm like, that was almost too gross for me. I'm like, and that's Wolverine.
Yeah.
So a lot of these horror games are too much for me. Like I'm fine. People play what they want to play, but like it's hard for me to play those type of games in my living room because I have 3 kids.
Yeah, that's understandable. Completely understandable.
So it's tough. Anyway,
no, you'll be seeing me play this as soon as it comes out, and that's 2027.
2027. But you know, guys, that's in the future. I'm looking for something a little closer. How about coming back to September when we have Control Resident is coming out?
So broke.
September.
Holy shit, man.
Okay.
Because that comes out the same day as Silent Hill.
I already knew this was probably going to be a day one purchase for me. The trailer that they showed for State of Play didn't really do much for me that the original trailer had already not done, you know?
Right.
But then they showed another trailer for it at Summer Game Fest today. And that one was awesome.
Yeah.
Because it was just a visual spectacle of like locations in the game, really. And I was like, okay, I am ready.
Yep. Remedy's going to bring another banger to the ballpark, and we're going to fucking love it.
Like when we look at the jump of tech from Alan Wake 1 to Alan Wake 2, it was so dramatic, right? Like what they can do with their engine and outdoor environments is pretty freaking awesome. But Alan Wake 2, a lot of that was outdoors, like in the woods and whatnot. But Control 2 Resident is a lot of city environments. So I loved the story of the first Controller game, but I wasn't a big fan of the powers and the gunplay at all. But now in this game, it's gravity powers and it's melee combat for the most part. Looks like, and you instead of being cooped up in the FBC or that one office, right, which literally is, you're in an office, even if it is weird and creepy. Now you're the whole city, and that's epic looking. And yeah, that trailer was solid. I want to see a deeper dive on how the gameplay flows and what the powers are like, but I hope it has all the weird and wacky like objects of power and all that kind of stuff. Like that was my coolest stuff. I love walking into a room and then there's like a old timey video, like a film playing or a TV screen playing that scientist is breaking down what this does. Like the X-Files shit. I love that. I hope they still have that in this game.
Yeah,
I hope
think we saw a little bit of Dr. Starling at the end of the trailer for
good.
The State of Play. So
State of Play, he was in that one.
I hope it has the subtle environmental changes that Control had. Where like you'd walk past something and there's like where there was a picture, now there's a door or something like that, right? Like I loved that shit. So I hope that survived as well.
I do feel like that's going to be a little harder to pull off in a massive city environment like this. But I mean, it doesn't mean they can't have enclosed areas that might do something similar.
Didn't they say this was like one of their biggest anticipated games, or like this game was going to be like the culmination of everything they've been working on, kind of thing?
Yeah. Like the story, the weird sci-fi X-Files inspired of the story of the original, plus the tech of the Alan Wake 2, because Alan Wake 2 was a pretty technical showpiece too, and they did a lot of crazy graphical stuff too, where you turn around and the world changes. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff like that, and I can see them doing that Control 2. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Control 2. I'm probably picking this up the day it comes out. I can't wait. I'm not paying for early access though. Fuck that shit. I'll wait till Monday.
I'll buy Silent Hill early access, and then I'll buy that day it
you know what? Yeah. I'll buy early access for this one. We're all gonna buy early access for something.
Anyway,
yeah, true. Fall on that swords and a star.
Speaking of swords, you know who carries a sword? The wife of Kratos. That's who. Mom of War.
Okay.
Fucking that's badass trailer. That was
God
of War Lafay, right?
I wish that wasn't fucking exclusive, because goddamn, that looked amazingly good.
I'm down the street. I'm just down the freeway, bro. You come and play at the house. Bring the wife. We'll have a date. We'll do a whole thing.
Like a day's travel at high speed for me.
Well, I'll bring my PlayStation next time we come out to call.
Yeah, dude, we got the suite. It's actually right through that wall. Anyway,
there you go. Put a TV in there. I'll bring the PlayStation.
No, I still need to play the second Dad of War, but the first one I absolutely adored. And I've now got God of War 2 with Ragnarok on my wish list, and I'm just keeping an eye out for like when it aligns with me not having a bunch of games I still need to play for the year. And it's on sale, I'll grab it.
It goes on sale pretty often too. So you
the moment there was a talking gelatinous cube, I was sold.
Played by
the guy from The Boys. What's his name?
Played by Jack Quaid. Yeah.
Oh, is it really Jack Quaid? I thought I knew that voice.
Motion capture rig is PVC pipe hanging off him, and that's how they did the motion cap for it.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
That's amazing.
I was jacked to see Deborah Ann Wall as the main character. I think that's
the
sick.
Sword.
She's awesome. I love Deborah Ann Wall. She's a total nerd too with Dungeons and Dragons. Like she is one of us when it comes to the gaming. So to see her in a game like another badass character too, like the combat and like she's doing fucking spin jumps. I saw people complaining on online because of course they're going to about this game. Like, well, why is it not Kratos? Why is it a woman? And she's not attractive. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
How many? Well, not only that, but how many fucking games has Kratos gotten?
Yeah.
Right. I don't care. This looks cool as shit. The combat looks fun as fuck. The characters look like they're super entertaining. I did not think, like, I like God of War. I'm not a big God of War, like, this is the coolest game ever. I really enjoyed the first one, but I was glued to that TV. Hell, my wife came home and she goes, "What are you watching?" I was all, shh. I want to know what's going on. Well, there's a gelatinous cube talking to Deborah Ann Wall. This is awesome. I'm sold.
And the fucking Guardian with the flaming hair. I'm like,
And the world environment, like you're in the afterlife, but it is trippy. It's a mix of like phase stuff and 7 Hell. It's really, really well done.
It looks cool.
I am upset. This is not
Cool.
out of everything here. This is the game where I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, like put this on PC.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
not
give you
buying
the
a
full
PS5, but
breakdown.
man, I would if
Because I will
almost
be
for this.
picking this up for sure.
Yeah,
I will be
when are we
definitely
going to get a
playing
PS5 emulator? Come on.
Yeah, get faster. Anyway, that's God of War La Fey.
Looking
That
at you,
comes out
Duck Station.
TBA. They didn't say when it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Summer Games Fest. So we just streamed this live earlier today. And the very first announcement from Capcom was Resident Evil Code Veronica. Although they dropped the code, they just called it Resident Evil Veronica. This is like the major Resident Evil game that I played as a kid. I played that. This is the game I had in the Dreamcast. I didn't have a PS. So I played out of this one. And I enjoyed it on the Dreamcast. And I'm not sure how much this will diverge from the original. But I can tell you, when we were watching the live stream of the trailer.
It was a slow burn.
Fucking 5-minute trailer. I didn't know what game it was till the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
how is this Resident Evil? It's clean your apartment simulator.
Yeah,
There's your fucking clean your coffee table. Fuck.
That was the joke that I made, was like, what are we fucking doing here? Like, is this like fucking doorbell simulator? Is this like
DoorDash simulator?
Yeah. I'm hyped for this one. Yeah.
This will be cool.
But yeah, that trailer was speed this up.
Yeah. Today, Junior.
Yeah, I will say people seem to really love the Resident Evil 4 remake that came out the other year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the team does with this one. So Code Veronica looks great. Yeah.
2's fantastic. 3 has its perks. 4 is dope. I think this is going to be another really good one. I'm looking forward to. They keep dropping hints that maybe the first one will get a remake and not just like a remaster, but an actual like remake. That would be first day buy.
That would be great if they gave the first one the treatment they've been given 2, 3, and 4.
Fucking sure.
I feel like 1 deserves it because the GameCube remake, it was good at the time.
Right.
It's at this point,
cleaner.
I feel like there's charm to the original because it was done like a bad horror movie.
Right.
And when they tried to make it serious in 2002, 2003?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like, the video game expectation of acting wasn't quite there. The graphics still weren't quite there. So it's not aged gracefully.
Right. Right. No, I think it definitely needs some, that one definitely should be looked at. I don't know.
I can see it.
All these,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be great. And they could still do the tongue-in-cheek thing if they really wanted to, but it's a great game.
I do think Veronica is going to sell like gangbusters because it's going to be the first time a lot of people have the chance to play it since it was Dreamcast. So
that'll be me.
Yeah. All right, cool. That said 2027. No, I swear to God, if it's like February, spring of 2027, that's going to screw me, but we'll see.
A lot of these games are going to drop closer to Halloween. It's just, I know that the next Silent Hill that's going to be released 2027, probably September, probably October. It's just, they got to get it within the fall season. That's the best time to release those games because they'll be buying them up like fucking hotcakes.
All right. The next one, the trailer was, is it Studio MDH or MDHR? It's the Cuphead people, basically. And they've been quiet for a while. So they announced 2 things in their trailer. The first was that they are working on another hand-drawn Cuphead 2 is in the pipeline. Nice. They didn't show it. They just announced it. But they announced something really interesting is they're also releasing a demake version of Cuphead, I guess. It looks like a Cuphead
like a
that was
Sega
on the
Genesis
Master System.
It looks like a platformer side scroller.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Cuphead is anyway.
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's I love how in the notes here you put Master System. Because I saw that little white case and I was like, that looks like Master System.
Looks like Wonder Boy.
Yeah. In the trailer, they also said it's probably tongue in cheek, but they mentioned like PC and then they meant PC consoles and then 8-bit consoles or something. So like people are joking, like, are they going to release a copy of this for the Master System, like a ROM? That's like, I doubt it. But they definitely nailed the 8-bit style for sure. And I mean, more Cuphead. I played a fair amount of Cuphead. I just cannot get very far into it because it's a hard ass game. I feel it'd be better with an 8-bit demake version of it more than anything else. So I'm actually kind of interested.
Still gonna be hard as fuck.
Yeah, I'm bad at side-scrolling platformers, so I know I'm just gonna have to watch somebody play this and play it vicariously.
I like that. That was a really cool Really cool take, a really cool artistic look.
The Cuphead art was spectacular.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very cool. And then coming up next was this one. I'm glad we got to see it. Alien Isolation 2. And I know the first game was huge for you guys. So how are you feeling about Alien Isolation 2, which is more of an outdoor element instead of being cramped?
Yeah. Hyped.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the movies. The first one was in the space station. The second one's planetside.
Yeah. I just don't want it to be, hey, look, it's a reskin on a different, like, I want something unique to be as part of it. Right.
I think with as long as it's taken to get a second version of this, you're going to get that. It's not like they just pounded this out and they're like, oh, okay, for like 2 years later. I mean, shit, I played this fucking 2018 and it had been out for a while before I played it.
I have high hopes for it.
I think this is going to be fucking great. This is easily one of the best survivor horror games I've ever played. Easily.
And I don't want to hide in lockers in the sequel. I want to hide in the mud. I want to hide in garbage cans. I want to hide in trees.
Dude, I'm right here. Kill me. I'm here. I'm gonna be fucking screaming that. I know that's Predator.
I want to somehow not have heat come out of my eyes when I'm covered in mud. It's
when you close your eyes, it makes the heat go away.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what is different about this to warrant a second game. I'm glad they're doing it, but I'm like you, sister. I want to see something different, but I don't want them going too far away from the formula. I don't want to see. I don't want a Doom clone all of a sudden. I want the survival horror of the original because that was awesome. So
hell yeah,
we'll have to see.
Hell yeah.
And I will call out that as much as I wanted better weaponry in the first one, I don't want better weapons in this game.
Nothing more stressful than playing this fucking game.
That is part of it. Is like I can kill the fucking Mannies or whatever they're called. I can kill those, but
the Working Joes.
Yeah.
But fuck, I am screwed with the alien, right? Like
they specified before they announced it that the alien was unkillable or indestructible again.
Yeah.
So he made that very clear. So I
think
makes sense.
Yeah.
This seeing as it's planet side, I feel like we're gonna see more variations on the aliens, and probably fewer androids.
And we're gonna get Michael Fassbender,
whatever you want to call them.
Yes, we'll get Michael Fassbender. Fucking
he'll hand us a drink and he'll like plop his finger in it, and all of a sudden we're running away from a ship that is coming. We could just literally run parallel and be fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I hope they put Michael Fassbender in there so you can kill him immediately. You just cut David's head off and then go about your business.
Sorry, perpendicular, not
what a jerk.
All right. That's TBA, and then TBA as well was the designer behind Shadow of the Colossus and Eco, like legendary game designer, and they highlighted this in the show. He hasn't had a game in 10 years, and the one thing he's working on with the
Last Guardian, I think, was the last one.
Last Guardian, yeah. So he's working on it was originally called Project Robot. They revealed the name of it is called Gen Atlas, and it does feel like a Shadow of the Colossus in spirit because it's dealing with robots. Yeah. Massively huge robots.
Giant mechs.
Yeah, and there was literally a scene at least one scene in the trailer where like it was you on the giant robot slicing away on it. So that's very much Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm excited for this. This looks cool. I love Shadow of the Colossus. It's easily one of my favorite games that for the PlayStation 2. I adore this game and I love this man's work. Last Guardian was really clever and really cool too. I've not played any of Ico or any of his older stuff, but the more current stuff that I've jumped into, I love the artwork. It's like buying a piece of art. It really is. It's just beautiful to watch and to listen to. Music's always fucking spectacular in these games. And it's just so clever. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus only had the Colossus. There's nothing else that you dealt with except for these giant creatures. And it was so interesting how they did that.
I liked that it was as much battle as it also was puzzle to figure out, like, how do I kill this Colossus? Like, I have to climb this way or attack.
How do I get on it? How do I ascend it? How do I attack it?
I got so frustrated. There's the one that would always drive its sword down at you, and I got so frustrated until I realized I had to climb the fucking sword.
You had to climb up his sword. Yeah. No, it's cool, and I look forward to anything this guy does because it's great shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious about that. I'm not sure about the name, but I'm definitely curious about the game itself.
I'm not sure about the lowercase GEN. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Gen Atlas is just one letter away from Gen AI. I don't like it. Anyway, that's fine.
Fair.
Next
That's
up,
fair.
okay, I gotta set this one up. So RGG, the guys who do the Yakuza games, famously do Yakuza. They've got a lot of high profile products going on right now, and one of them I'm really looking forward to because it's something that might be a little bit more polished, a little bit more high quality than the Yakuza games. As much as I love Kiryu and Ichiban and Majima, I want a little bit higher polish and see what they can do with that. And they're doing Stranger Than Heaven, which is it's the same city, a city in Japan. I still believe it's organized crime, but it's over generations of a time period. It goes really old Japan and going up to the modern day. It's a very cool premise. Could be a very cool game. I was really hyped for it, and then I started seeing who they're casting in it. And I saw a while back that Snoop Dogg is in this game. Feels weird, but okay. Snoop Dogg, he's definitely into Japanese culture, and there's definitely a niche for hip hop and Japanese films for sure. Like Wu-Tang Clan exists because of those.
Wu-Tang Clan, yeah.
So it makes sense. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Anyway, I'm dying for new footage, and they showed a new trailer for Stranger Than Heaven. Pretty epic opening scene with an onsen and Yakuza and the tattoos and naked mafia people. It's great. It's awesome. It looked great. Then they started doing the title drop of
bathhouse.
The Japanese bathhouses, and they're starting to do the title drops, and the style was really cool and really unique. And then it's like featuring so and so and so and so. Snoop Dogg, okay. Snoop Dogg's son, okay. It's Cordell, I think his name is. And then it's like pans over to a dark doorway, opens, and out steps in old Japan, fucking Tupac. And it's like
with the fucking head bandana on.
With the head
Ghetto
bandana.
Angel Resurrection. Who needs a hologram?
Yeah, that's what immediately what I thought is like, what, they can do the hologram again? Because that was famously before this AI shit. That's what it was years ago. Is they brought back a hologram of Tupac to do a concert, and people were pissed off back then. Right. How are they even going to do this? Are they going to make the character mute? I hope so. Or are they going to cast a voice actor who sounds like him? I hope it's that, right? Because was it Troy Baker did Indiana Jones flawlessly? I hope it's that. What I really, really hope Snoop Dogg is not doing, because he said he worked with the estate of Tupac to do this, to get the approval for this. I hope they're not taking voice clippings and generating AI Tupac. I don't want that. It's not going to sound good.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that's what it's going to be.
The voice training for AI.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I think they're going to probably do. And I fucking hate that, because for me, that's voice actors just recently had a strike, because that's the worry that they have, is that studios are going to start training models on their voice work. And suddenly you don't need voice actors anymore. That's different here. It's Tupac. His estate signed off on it. If that's what they do, we don't know for sure, then fine. But the concept of that bothers me, that the future of movies and TV could very well be dead actors who've signed away their life and rights, which a lot of them already did, right? Like we see, was it what's his name? The country star, not Chris Gaines. What's his real name? Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, yeah.
Is looking to sign away the rights to his back catalog for like $2 billion. His life's work to be sold for $2 billion, and all the rights he has to that work. What it's going to be going forward? Is James Earl Jones going to sell away his likeness of his voice? So when he dies, his family, his estate will collect money when they start doing generated AI models off his voice. I don't want that to be the future of where they're going with performances, but I'm worried that's what it might be here. So, but otherwise, trailer was interesting.
Didn't they say there's a new Tupac song coming too as part of it?
That's what I thought when I was listening to it. But what it is a couple years ago, Snoop Dogg was on the show, and he announced Death Row Games, a game studio is doing with his son. So my wife's shaking her head at me. Death Row Games, yes. So he's starting a game studio, but he's been quiet for the last couple of years. So he said,
hopefully Suge Knight's not involved in this, because Jesus,
is he dead?
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he's in jail.
Well, we made this joke. Both Wolf and I made this joke in the when we were watching live. I'm just waiting for the Biggie Smalls video game.
Gotta have your Christopher in there.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. I'm still really excited for this game. I am really looking forward to a Yakuza polished Yakuza game, especially since that other game was it Gang of Dragon
It's
got canceled.
so polished that it's got Tupac in it.
Besides that,
Real
like,
polished.
dude, you don't understand how upset what I was because like
I get
Snoop
it.
Dogg
No,
being
I
in this
get it.
game, I'm like, you know what? I can accept Snoop Dogg. I'd rather the Wu-Tang Clan, but I can accept Snoop Dogg. That's
Hell
fine.
yeah.
Bend it,
Kidding
okay.
me?
But Tupac is
Yeah,
come on.
Tupac was weird.
Yeah.
Like that was it's weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's very weird.
You
I
know,
get it.
this trailer alone, I was like, I threw away my bingo card with this trailer alone because I was like, I didn't expect Japanese bathhouses without diapers, just fucking naked.
Yeah.
Japanese bathhouses
Sorry. You think Chris Keeley's like, sorry, YouTube.
and fucking Tupac. I was like, bingo cards out the window.
That's done.
Well,
I
I joked
will never
like
win
how
this
many farming simulators are we going to get during this show, and we got none. We got a Tupac game.
No.
You got
but we got
Yakuza
no farming
ass and
simulators.
Tupac. No farming
Yeah.
simulators.
Crazy. What is we had Steve from Fine Time on, and at the end when I said, "Yeah, no farming games," he's like, "Well, we did have that Tupac game. They dug him up." That was a pretty good joke. That was
Let's
a pretty
go.
good joke. That's farming.
Yep.
Anyway,
Sorry,
GG.
YouTube.
Okay.
this comes out. I don't know what the date was for Stranger Than Heaven. I think this date here is
You said
January
1/6, which is
15th,
wrong.
2020. Well, I think that's wrong.
So it's
Yeah,
next,
I was gonna say
next
it should
January.
already be out.
Yeah, so I'm
Was
I'm
that a
gonna wait for
placeholder
reviews,
number?
but I'm definitely curious.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make this list of games. This came from somebody on the Reddit community who's like, I just do
Oh,
this for my friends,
okay.
so I'm sharing it to you guys. I'm like, hell yeah, because he had trailer links and everything. It was really convenient. Anyway, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Stranger Than Heaven, Tupac's back, Jack. That's great. The next up was Hex with an extra A.
That better be the title, man.
Yeah.
Tupac's back, Jack.
I'll update it.
Subtitle: Stranger Than Heaven.
Stranger than heaven.
Heaven.
Tupac's back, Jack.
We have Hex, which comes out next year, and I only put a yes on this one because it said procedural generation, and that's my goddamn jam. I love
That's
procedural
your
generation
jam.
games. I don't know what this is.
This was the one where they shoved the Rubik's Cube into the ground and then
Yeah.
had to run like fucking hell.
Yes, and there's like weird, almost like PG rated Cenobites. I'll say that's what they reminded me of. Not quite
Yeah.
as sadomasochistic as
These are
Pinhead,
At home.
but definitely weird.
We've got Cenobites at home.
Your wish.com Cenobites.
We don't need Cenobites. We have Cenobites
Right.
at home here.
My
We have-
Timu
we have-
Cenobite.
We have Cenobits. We have Cenobits.
Cenobit.
Spelled SINNO.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out what this game is going to be because the trailer didn't. There's lots of shooting and
Yeah.
lots of weird. It must be puzzle elements.
Honestly, it
It's-
looked a lot
yeah.
like Rust. It really did to me.
Okay. So some of the developers worked on The Division, and some worked on Little Nightmares. So it's definitely a mix
Okay.
of
Oh, wow,
of
that's a
dev from
mix.
various sources.
I mean, both have their chops though.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
like,
For
there's
sure.
pedigree there, but I don't know what this game is. Like, is it like
That's
an
a
online
blending
game?
of genres. That's a little bizarre.
Yeah, or is it like an online game? You get into a party and you have to like go into random environments and solve puzzles and do shooting and escape. Is that one of those kind of games, or is it a single player thing? I don't really know. But procedural generation is my thing, so I'm curious to see what that is.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Next up comes out in July this year. Assassin's Creed's Black Flag Resynced.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I've
This
never
is the
played
best
the original.
Assassin's Creed.
Me
This is
either.
the best Assassin's Creed that they ever made. There's they did this kind of stuff in 3, but then they were like, people liked it so much that they're like, we're just gonna make a whole fucking boat game. And
Yeah.
holy shit, dude.
Well,
This game is awesome.
and I hope there was an aspect, and I guess you know what, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit and take back that there was no mobile game in this season that they showed, because the original, there was a mobile app that you could do to like
That's right.
do the ship control
Yeah.
between plays.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you could have ship battle going on your mobile, and then you'd come back in and you'd have earned, money or whatever from
Some
that.
kind of loot for
So,
it. Yeah.
yeah. And that
No,
was
this is-
a very cool aspect as well. I loved Black Flag. It is
This is
it
a
is
great game.
Yeah, I've played Assassin's Creed 1. I played a little bit of 2. I played the one that was in Greece, Odyssey. And Black Flag is its own animal and it's fantastic.
Yeah. I played Black Flag before I played 3. And I was like, 3 is cool. This is all right. I like this. I like the Native American and the whole deal. And then they throw you on the boat. And I was like, this is where they got the Black Flag 4 stuff, or the Assassin's Creed 4 stuff was from this, because it's just pretty much the same, but a lot less like puzzled out, a lot more fleshed out. Black Flag is dope. And I'm super jacked that they decided to make a remaster or remake or whatever they're doing with this.
Yeah, it's
a remake. Gonna be awesome.
I don't know if it's quite a remake because the gameplay is definitely from the original, but they've definitely modified it. From what I read, they've made the stealth sections less annoying. Right, they used to be instant fail stealth sections. That's been changed. I think they've refined the ship-to-ship combat. They have removed the DLC stuff. People were a little upset about that because apparently some of the DLC stories were really good, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they can add it in the future. And they also took out. So for every single Assassin's Creed game, there's like a loose joining story of how they really take place in present day, but you're using the Animus to go back in time and relive your ancestors. There's that kind of story to it, and there's a whole thing with that, and they continue that into Origins and Odyssey, from what I recall. Like, it's not a lot of it, but it's there. Right. But in this, Black Flag had it originally, but they're taking it out in the remake version. I think this kind of makes this game a bit more standalone, maybe a bit more accessible to people who aren't familiar with the franchise. I know that they're trying to, I think, reset things a bit, because I've really wanted to like Origins a lot. I've tried it so many times and I could never get into it. But I also have Odyssey in my Steam library.
Odyssey was decent. I had fun with Odyssey.
But there are the RPG elements to it, right? Where it's more RPG-ish action game, whereas Black Flag and the original Assassin's Creed games are all action. There's no RPG stuff at all. And I think they're trying to go back to that style of game. And this is like
the Black Flag. For me, it was the ship. It was the ship stuff. That was the shit that fucking.
I sailed all over that fucking map. I just looked for everything. It was if there was any Assassin's Creed game to ever play, this would be the only one that I would ever recommend anybody play. 2's great. 1's repetitive, but it's the first one. But this one is just leaps and bounds, pun intended. The best Assassin's Creed I've ever played.
And I will say the trailer had music from Refined by Woodkid, so he remastered by Woodkid. Woodkid's, I didn't even know who he was until I started playing Death Stranding, because he did a lot of the music for Death Stranding, and it's great music. So I'm glad to see him in this as well.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm in for Black Flag. Fuck yeah.
All right,
let's go.
Next up, I was kind of surprised to see this one. So Paramount and all their mergers, they are starting a game studio, and they have a whole bunch of IP now. And there was a movie that was supposed to be coming out. It was in the works, and it was based off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, The Last Ronin, which would have been a fantastic idea for a movie, but they canceled the movie. But they are making a game, and that comes out. Looks like nice. Is it 20 to be announced? So it's in the future, but it's in the works.
And it looks gritty. It looks gritty, which
nice.
I love TMNT. I love the arcade games. I mean, shit. I have the fucking Chard and I now have the re-released tabletop RPG. But see, the reason I love the tabletop RPG is it is gritty too. It's not your 12-year-old kid in a Saturday after, or sorry.
Except I did play this when I was 12. So
yeah, but Sims was right. Like, the cartoon is not what TMNT started as. It was meant. It was more of an adult flavored, gritty environment. Yeah.
Well, and the Ronin story, Raph's story, is dark. It's dark.
Very dark.
So
it's like revenge for the death of the turtles, right? He's the last one left or something. I really have to read that book. Yeah. So
he kind of goes a little nuts.
Does it? Okay. So I'm curious to see what they do with this as a game. I don't know much about the developers behind it. I'm sure it's not Paramount. I'm sure they hired some people to do it for them, but I'm curious to see what they do with it for sure. Next up was Control Resident. Again, I don't think we're hyped for it, right? We already talked about it.
Yeah.
Next up is I heard there was ArenaNet was going to do a trailer during SGF. I wasn't sure what it would be. These are the guys who did Guild Wars. They recently released Guild Wars 1. They called it their what the hell? They got Reforged Edition. And basically, it's Guild Wars you can play on a Steam Deck and controller support now. It's pretty great. And I also put a lot of time into Guild Wars 2 for over the years. And they're still updating Guild Wars 2. Like there was an expansion just last month. So I was excited to see what they're doing next, and it's Guild Wars 3. They officially announced it. But that trailer, though, didn't look like Guild Wars.
Well, it was a lot of cinematics. It was all cinematics.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
bright, colorful. And like the more I thought about Guild Wars 2 was also
Guild Wars 2 is bright and colorful.
Yeah, but this looked even more so. Like this
Yeah.
Well, to me,
like
honestly,
to me, but yeah.
it looked like Cloud Atlas, or sorry, whatever, Golden Compass or whatever. Like,
Okay,
like that
Yeah,
kind
you
of
did
level,
say that.
that kind of level of like the creatures were fantastical like that, and I mean,
Yeah.
it was
So I'm curious to see what time period it takes place in, whether it's in the future or whether it's a prequel of some kind. It said it takes place in or in the lore of Guild Wars. Or was a human kingdom that basically succumbed to the undead and sunk beneath the ocean and it got risen to back up again. So I'm interested. I will probably pick it up. Like I always like their model of you buy it and you don't pay monthly fees. If they keep that, I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I did look online once their website wasn't dying under the pressure because it was people are rushing to sign up for beta next year, which I managed to get on the list. I looked at the website to see what other information there was, and they just said that the big focus is more action combat, but still with dedicated skills, but a big focus on traversal, so movement skills with your mount and with your skills. So that is you could leap from your mount, and the momentum carries with you as you jump off your mount. So more tactical feel of moving around, which for an MMO is definitely an advancement. They said they want advanced MMOs like they haven't been done in a while, right? Because we haven't had any major change in how MMOs work in years, really. Like it's still honestly the WoW model for a lot of these. So I am curious
if it works.
Yeah, if it works, yeah. So we'll see.
I mean,
Guild Wars 2 was like, was it MMO? Sure, but it was also very instanced and very small. It was not WoW. It was not Elder Scrolls Online. Like it's a different kind of feel to it. But we'll see what they do. But the betas are in fall of 2027. So there's a beta sign up on their website. So people should check that out.
So get in now. You only have a year.
Yeah, you only have a year. The next up was, so this one is 1666 Amsterdam. This is from a developer who used to work at Ubisoft. He was trying to push this idea for years, and then he ended up getting fired from Ubisoft. But I recall stories of him fighting for the IP to this idea he had, and he got to take the IP with him. And now finally he's making the game he wanted to make. So they also announced a prologue on Steam now, and I think Sinister, you said you played it, right?
Yeah, I've played about 15 minutes of it, and I will say it's a little rough. Sometimes the like what you were supposed to do was confusing. They have to fix the input because it's got that stupid hold button to do something, but it gets worse. Like it's press X to like search for this book or whatever, and then you press and hold X and you get a little dial, but then it starts another dial that's the actual dial, and it's like, oh, I've already let the button go because I thought I did the thing I was supposed to, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I will say, in 15 minutes of play, the story was compelling. I was able to pick a cat familiar. So all the streamers on Twitch, you can pick a cat familiar.
Let's go.
And then what's really kind of entertaining and cool is I ended up in a flashback sequence. And as you're going in this flashback, it's actually helping you figure out where to go next because the text of the story populates in the game interface. Like it's like you're seeing it in your mind. And as you walk through it, it kind of shatters and goes away. And like reads the voiceover reads the story. So you basically know where to go because you see the text around the next corner. Yeah. There's definitely an aspect of horror to this. So Chard, listen to me.
Okay. Right.
There are some areas where I got near some like paintings on the wall, and it would flash really quickly to like the faces in the painting in like melting or blood or whatever, and it was just like like flash and twitch and but I haven't gotten any combat, so I can't tell you about any of that. But the story was compelling. The interface needs a little work. It looks cool though. It looks cool.
Yeah, I'm curious with this one because it's like the Salem witch trials, I thought, but I guess it's not in Salem. But
the area that I was in, you start in modern day.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and in fact, sorry, the trailer that we saw is the very, very, very first cinematic in the game.
Okay.
But then you're all of a sudden in modern times and you're talking to like a librarian at a college trying to figure out this thing that your dad sent you. And then when you figure that out, it unlocks a story from your dad, which is actually your history, which only goes back to the year 2000. So I think we're going to keep going kind of back and back and back. So
interesting.
Yeah.
It's neat because like I know he worked on the Assassin's Creed games, and like I know it's not an Assassin's Creed game, but I can see the elements of that where it's like the ancestors and the history are relevant to the present, and they're tying it all back together. Even the hooded characters remind me of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
I am curious what the combat is like in the game and how, if it's actiony or if it is more survival horror or what they're planning to do. But I'm definitely interested in this one. This looked really cool.
Well, I'm gonna go finish the prologue maybe tonight after we finish here, so I'll be able to talk about it a little bit more.
I'll be downloading that. That looks pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool. I missed one. I got to go back. So RGG, like I said, they had a few big projects, Stranger Than Heaven and Tupac. I mean, that's a big one. But also, Sega gave them a try at making Virtual Fighter. They're doing Virtual Fighter Crossroads. I'm really excited for this one because if you know the guys who do Yakuza, given the opportunity to make a fighting game, you know they're going to have cameo characters. And I guarantee you we're going to see Majima and Kiryu as DLC at some point. But the overall vibe of it looked pretty interesting. I think, Wolf, I think out of all of us, you probably played Virtua Fighter the most.
Yeah.
So it's like the initial video they were showing looked like Shenmue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the guy, like, he was running away, bolting. It looked like the old QuickTime events, running down a narrow alleyway, trying to avoid things, push stuff over to block the guys chasing you. Make sure you turn the corner at the right time, stuff like that. It didn't have all the button presses, but it reminded me of that heavily. And then it got to the restaurant scene where they got sort of ambushed and shit starts going down. The kid gets a knife put to her throat, and the other guy's like, lay off or I'll slit her throat. And the guy's like, okay, well, I'll get down. He gets down, and then this old woman, like she looks like an old woman chef from the back.
Yeah.
Quietly enters and just takes the guy down like nothing.
I'm like, it's Steven Seagal.
Like, yeah, one of the guys starts geeking out that it's Pi from Virtua Fighter.
Well,
I was like, what?
And in my brain, I was like, hey, is it Steven Seagal from Under Siege? Is it the cook? Is the cook the guy? Anyway.
So it's Virtua Fighter Crossroads is the title, but the VI was highlighted for the 6.
It was.
So it's Virtua Fighter 6. But it's weird that it showed that running segment that made it look like it's not entirely a fighting game anymore, which maybe it's a crossover kind of thing. I don't know.
Or maybe they're just taking the time to show that there's more to the world of Virtua Fighter than just the arena, right? Like I feel like a lot of those games,
maybe
you don't really see much of the world, and there's no story. I mean, there's story like any fighting game back then.
There's story. No. Yeah. They had story. Like the first one was heavily about Jackie's sister getting kidnapped by I don't remember who.
Something made of polygons.
And so in the second one, she's brainwashed and she's fighting on their side. And so there's actual story there. Like it's each character has their own role in this world story that's being told throughout all the characters' games. So I'm interested to see if they flesh it out more and make it a world you can traverse some. But I'm almost wondering if they're doing something kind of like Street Fighter 6 did, where it's got a campaign mode where it's go around and explore.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It would make sense. That's what RGG does, right? Times. Yeah, like RGG did the Yakuza games where they have a city environment and it's like this freeform combat everywhere, and there's lots of mini stuff, and it's I can see them doing that with Virtua Fighter.
Work for Street Fighter, yeah.
Yeah, for me, if it's friggin' like Virtua Fighter meets Yakuza with heavier emphasis on the combat and less on like the random side story crap, I'm all for it. Like, and I'm not saying like I hate the side story, but I'm like, if it's Virtua Fighter, it's got to be about the fighting, and the combat got very, it gets kind of stale at the end of each Yakuza game.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas Virtua Fighter is pretty deep on the combat, right? Like it's a fighting game fan, right? Like it's a fighting game for fighting game fans, right? Like it's not an easy one to understand. It's not flashy, right? It's more in depth.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fighting game guy, but I do love Virtua Fighter 2. And I know that's like going way back because we're on 6.
Right.
But I'm interested to see what they'll do with it, knowing that, you know, a lot of the RGG guys came from Shenmue, which I feel like it's apparent. And then, you know, what they've done with Yakuza over the years, and now going and doing Virtua Fighter, a fresh entry. I'm intrigued.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting one. RGG is doing really great lately, right? Like they've had a lot of cool stuff with Yakuza, even taking spin-offs into turn-based RPGs. Then they got Stranger Than Heaven, which is the time period stuff, and then now they're doing a fighting game. Like I hope these all work out for the studio because it's really awesome.
Cool.
Okay, next we had Saw Genesis. I know that for the show they brought on the puppet of Jigsaw onto the stage. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know if I want the backstory to Saw. Like, I don't even like the movies, guys. But
I've never saw Saw.
I've seen a few.
I watched the first one, and I watched that, and I watched Hostel, and I basically was like, I'm not into the term that I've heard is either Gorno or torture porn, and I'm not into that.
Yeah, torture porn is definitely not my ball game. No.
Yeah.
And this is one that Blooper's coming up with, and it's supposed to be like a 3v1 multiplayer. I don't know if it's like Dead by Daylight or what, but it's a similar kind of spin.
That's right.
But
yeah, it was an asymmetrical online game, which I don't.
Yeah.
There's so many of those. Like I don't need another one of those. Right.
And
there's Friday 13th and stuff. And
I adore Blooper, and they're going to venture into this path because it's a pretty popular thing with certain streamers. I don't know if this will be one that I tamper with or not, because 3v1 Saw universe, give me my Cenobites from Cinnabon and we'll go from there. I'd rather deal with some of that than this guy here. So let's. I wish Blooper the best of luck. I hope they do some good work with that, because it's going to be good. But I don't know if it's
every studio can't produce a game for every person, right? I mean,
right, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Next up is this one was rumored for a while, and I'm glad we got to see it. And it was Star Wars Zero Company. Comes out in August, so almost September. Just it's August 27th. It's a tactical Star Wars game, which I'm all for. I don't want to quite say XCOM-ish, but I think it might be. I think since you and I were talking about this offline.
Yeah.
Did you see a grid? I can't remember. Or was it a circle-based?
It kind of looked. There were a couple scenes where like it looked like it was starting the tactical, like the visual for, and it kind of looked like people were lining up on a grid. And so I love XCOM games. I adore XCOM games, even though the XCOM RNG is like the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like XCOM RNG is like, hey, you've got a 99% chance to hit, and you'll miss. You've got a 3%. You've got a 3%. Yeah,
and
you've
got
a 3% chance. You've got 3%. It's through 6 walls, and you hit. Like I don't understand. Like the RNG, but I said this to you offline. I would watch I would play Walmart employees taking on Karens if it was a XCOM style game.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would, yeah.
I'd watch that.
Let's make this happen, guys.
Hell
All of a sudden, Press B Studios. We're gonna make Walmart Simulator.
X-Karen.
X-Karen. Yeah.
Big bucks come.
Yeah, no, Wolf, I know you're the same. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I much more appreciate the Trek universe. But I'll be honest with you, if it's an XCOM like, I would be very interested. I don't care what the characters are and what they do, as long as it's XCOM style gameplay, right?
Yeah. And it did look like from the trailer that you, much like XCOM, I only played XCOM 2 really in depth, and it's similar in that you customize a squad of people. the way they look, whether they're droids, whether they're alien races. I think I saw Jedi in there, definitely some with weapons. Like it seems like a good
that's
mix of
very
squad.
XCOM-ish.
Yeah, and like the variety is really cool. And like I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars and games especially. Sometimes they hit really well, like Jedi Fallen Knight is freaking excellent. But then I don't really care for some of the more other games that come out. So like I love or hate. But this one I think is really cool. We haven't had a tactical-based Star Wars game, I think. The last time I remember one was a RTS game off of the old Age of Empires engine, and it was awful. so it's nice to see them doing tactics with Star Wars, right? Outside of another TIE fighter or another online shoot 'em up, right? So I'm curious to see what they do with this one. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested in this one too. I don't know what the studio dev was. I just saw EA, but I'm curious to see what it is, and I'm curious to see what. Besides the battles, what is around it? Like, is it going to be like XCOM where you're building a base? Is there stuff there, or is it going to be like Marvel Midnight Suns, which is a little bit different, but it's from the old XCOM people, and that had a whole story between the battles and stuff. So I'm curious to see what they do. I'm here for the tactical combat, but I would like to see what else is there. So hopefully we get more information soon.
And we talked about this offline. I'm very much in if it's the grid based. Midnight Suns was fun, but it didn't ever grab me like the XCOM games did. And I think part of it was the whole sphere, circle, whatever, and
like
free form moving your characters. Yeah.
I want tiles. I don't want free form or move. Yeah.
I want very clear, like half cover, full cover, partial, Yep.
Yeah. I get you. Next was Blood of the Dawnwalker. I didn't know what the hell this game was during that trailer. At first I'm like, is this the Blade game? Like, what is this?
I saw a few like early things about it, and it looked like it reminds me of Witcher. Like it's got a very Witcher feel to it, I feel like. Okay. And I mean, you guys both have played it, and Wolf and I are the only two that haven't really invested the time into it. But the gameplay just seems similar, that way you're playing basically a daywalker and you're fighting vampires in medieval times. It looked like a pretty cool thing. We don't have to go too deep into it, but it was one that I was interested in. So
this is the one with the vampire window, right? Where the window is like breathing blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the Amazon delivery of blood. And then the delivery guy ran off.
Yeah, I thought it was a Legacy of Kain remake or something. Like he reminded me of the old PlayStation Legacy of Kain game. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
but it's something different. Yeah.
No, it's its own beast, but it definitely looks like it plays similar to like a Witcher type.
If it's an open world RPG vampire game, sure, I would be interested.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's definitely something to keep an eye out for and watch it grow if it continues to grow.
Guess what? You get to play it soon in September this year.
Oh shit! I didn't. Oh boy, can't wait. Not that I don't have plenty of other shit to play in September this year.
Well, and I'm going to throw this out. This wasn't announced in the state of play today or anything, but I already have said I'm going to be buying the new VR set from Steam, and they have announced it's coming this summer. So I'm just fucked.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, we're broke as fuck. Yeah, they were talking about that. And the Steam Machine.
Oh man!
So they were both.
Yeah, they said the Steam Machine and the Slate or whatever it's called.
Steam Frame.
The frame is this summer. Now they said summer. Which, yeah.
It's probably gonna be skynormous.
Yes.
Couple of mortgages on the house.
You know what else is skynormous? Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance expansion. Where the landmass takes place up in the sky. How it got up there, I don't know.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, that's what I'm practicing. I'm telling you.
It was
Go ahead.
It did look very vertical.
Yes. I really liked Monster Hunter Wilds. The only criticism I have is I beat it pretty quickly. The story mode was pretty short. And there's some post-game stuff. It's a Monster Hunter game. And I did enough. I got my weapon to the highest you can get for the most part. I did what I wanted to do, and there wasn't really anything left. There was no higher tier of monsters, really. I know in subsequent updates, they've added harder tiers of certain monsters, but it's not broadly across the board. It's only the certain ones. So like once you've beaten that tier, and you can beat a monster in this game in like 10 minutes if you know what to do. Like it's not hard. Although I heard the updates are more difficult, but there's not enough of those fights in the game. So I was waiting for a DLC and expansion for the last few Monster Hunters. They've been doing that. I'm glad to see they're doing one. They didn't give much information on it, unfortunately, but I hope it gives another blanket tier of difficulty across the board that you can fight monsters on. Because my biggest thing with Monster Hunter Wilds is there wasn't more of it to do. That's my thing. So otherwise, I'm pretty hyped for this one. I think
Nice.
Wolf, you were looking at this one, but I don't think you picked it up. Chart, I know you and I played it a little bit, right?
No,
So
I don't Monster Hunter. The last one I played, the only one I
I think
played
you benchmarked
is
it, didn't
Try.
you? You're like, I just want to see what the benchmark does, and you were running like
I
tests
did do the
on your-
benchmark, and
Yeah,
I was. It's because I had switched from a NVIDIA to a Radeon, and I was getting like a couple of things that looked PS1 while everything else looked beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very
Yeah, totally
strange.
Yeah.
Like a 7 polygon chicken in the village.
like you do.
it had its bugs
It's
at
the
that release.
it's the most delicious chicken. 7 polygon.
It's already cut. It's already squared.
Yeah.
For me, the thing with Monster Hunter is I love how it's a game dedicated to killing things, but the story narrative tries really hard to say, oh no, we want you to capture the monster. These are
you're just
mythical
quelling the
creatures,
herd.
and it's a
Yeah.
product of the environment that's making them crazy, and we have to capture them and study them. No, bitch, I'm here to kill
No.
monsters and
You're
harvest their
murdering the
body
shit out of
parts
them.
and make armor
Yeah.
and look cool.
You're turning
Yeah.
their pieces into swords and shit. You're not saving anything.
But in that trailer, that guy was attacking the ground like nothing else.
I know. But it's the environment that is really the problem. We have to unravel the mystery of what's causing the monsters to go mad. Oh no. And
Stab it in the
Monster
head.
Hunter. Yeah. It's
That's Monster Hunter.
Capcom has a weird take on Monster Hunter, and they've really tried to sell it as something that I think it's not. But it's cool. I'm looking forward
You
to
know
more
what? You know what can't go crazy? Something that's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Quell the herd. Quell the herd.
it. You know what might as well be dead? Sonic Racing Cross Worlds update. That's what's next. So I
Someone's
guess
going to my school of segues. I'm liking this. I'm here for it.
so like
I-
Sonic. So I was expecting a bunch of announcements from Sega this time, and we got some mostly through RGG. I was expecting to see more of that. Like I think Wolf, you had said you wanted to see more like maybe Crazy Taxi or the Legacy IP that they mentioned they're working on, but we didn't get any of that. But for Sonic's 35th anniversary, they gave us 2 updates. The first one was the broadcasting or showcasing some DLC coming out for their racing game and the kart racing game. And I'll say again, Sonic Cross Worlds, I played the beta, online beta. It's excellent. It's the best that franchise has ever been. It is the closest they've ever come to Mario Kart. It's great. But the regional pricing for that game is a ripoff. That release, that game was $100 Canadian, and that is like, come on. And that's not including the DLC, of which there is much DLC. Some of them are free updates, yes. But most of the DLC is paid, or you had to buy the deluxe edition for an obscene amount of money. That game is overpriced. I don't give a fuck. So I have very little interest in Sonic Racing Crossroads updates, even if they are adding Evangelion characters to the damn game.
Yeah.
And I love Evangelion. I'm like, son of a bitch. So there's that. But the second update.
How do we reel him in?
Yeah, how do they get me? I mean, mark it off 75%, and then maybe I'll look at the DLC. Is how they got to do it. But they haven't really done that yet. Anyway, I'm good. I already have overpriced kart racing and Mario Kart World, so I'm good for a while. They
Mario
announced
Kart at home.
Sonic Pico Park. So I don't know how many here know about Pico Park, but that's a pretty popular indie game. I like to call it Drive Daddy Crazy when you try and play a game with your kids game, where it's like a local co-op, or I guess you can do online too, and it's like a puzzle game, and you have up to 4 characters on the screen at once, I believe, and you're trying to navigate these series of puzzles, and there's different worlds with different themes. Very basic puzzle game, very infuriatingly hard to do unless you have a good team, and I guess this is a Sonic themed version of it. I will probably grab this one. I don't know about you, Wolf.
Yeah, I'll probably get this one. I like Pico Park. I think they're fun. Yeah, this was not on my bingo card either. Just
Random.
I was like, maybe we'll get a Sega Legacy IP. Maybe we'll get Sonic Frontiers too.
Golden Axe.
Sonic Pico Park. What?
Sure. Way to go, Sega.
Yeah.
Would
Very
be.
weird. Like they're making a Streets of Rage
subverting
movie.
expectations. Nailed
Fuck
it.
it.
So, not even a Sonic Frontiers 2. They could have done that, but no, it's Sonic Pico Park. That's what you got.
It's funny. Wow.
Very weird announcement. Next up was they phrase this as a driving game from a developer who used to work on Forza, but this one is narrative driven. It's called Clutch, and it comes out next spring, 2027. I'm playing a lot of Forza Horizon 6, and I know you don't play a driving game for the story. I get it, but Horizon 6 is real good, and the gameplay is really freaking awesome. The driving is excellent, but what bothers me about Horizon is the premise. The premise is a bunch of like tourists overtake a country and have a racing festival. So they go to different locations.
It's Forza 5 all over again.
Yeah. That was in Mexico. This one's in Japan. But dude, the reason I bought this Sinstar is because it takes place in Japan and it's Tokyo. And like, well, I've been to Tokyo. It's kind of cool. It's like if they did a Forza in Toronto, I'd be all over that shit to see how they did Toronto. So I'm like, okay, I can see Tokyo. First off, the map is, I know they can't make Tokyo in a game. I get it. But it feels like a theme park size. Like it feels tiny. It's not small.
Have you ever played Truck Simulator?
There's nothing Japanese in this game at all. It does not feel like Japan. Like even the fucking radio stations are playing anime theme songs, and then you have an English voiceover, and it really feels like you had a bunch of drunken British pub runners decide to hop in their cars, drive across the ocean to Japan, and start having races. It is so loosey-goosey on the story. And the game is great, but the story just feels like a waste of time.
Dude, it's Truck Simulator is the same way, bro. I have literally had packages leave the city I live in, which is pretty good to get to I-5, right? For those of you who give a shit. But it doesn't take me 15 minutes to get to fucking Cleellum. That's a 4-hour drive. Okay.
Where I drive my motor home to go camping is a 2-hour drive on a real road. It's 15 minutes in Truck Simulator.
You're already there.
That's fine. It's fine. I get it. But the story is still stupid. Anyway, so Clutch is not Forza. It's a different developer, but it's like heavy on the story. It was like a dramatic story in that trailer, and I'm locked in. So
I was actually worried. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what in the Speed Racer did the trailer close on, where like the car shot off the side of a cliff or something, and then shot a fucking scorpion get over here at a helicopter? What?
Yeah,
that's what Thelma and Louise was lacking, was the harpoon.
Yeah,
that's a totally different movie. If Thelma and Louise had a harpoon.
No, you remember in Thelma and Louise, you don't know what happened at the end.
That's true. They just maybe when they grip their hands together, that's the shut the harpoon.
Right. Yeah, they activate the rocket boost and they landed safely. That's how it goes.
No, honestly, I watched that trailer and there was so much story in that trailer that it actually made me worry about the driving in that game.
Yeah.
Because I love Cyberpunk. I adore Cyberpunk. But the driving in Cyberpunk is ass.
Yeah.
Is ass. Yeah. And it's because I think they dedicated 90% of the resources to the story. Anyway.
That's fair.
Well, it's like with 007 right now, I'm playing from the Hitman people, right? And I expected more Hitman, but there's also vehicle sections and driving. And people in the reviews are complaining that the driving sucks. And coming off of Forza, going into 007's driving, it's not great. But that's not the focus of the game.
Right,
Clutch, I think the focus of Clutch is, yes, there's a story, but I think the focus will be the driving. Like, I think even you said in the stream earlier, the character models kind of look a bit off.
Yeah,
they look as polished as the cars do, which is fine if you're driving all the time, then that's what you want. But I am curious to the reviews on it. If you give me a solid racing game or driving game that has a really cool story to go with it, and a really interesting, thrilling story, then I'm all in for that one. So I'm surprisingly into Clutch.
And obviously, I'm sure Clutch isn't procedurally generated, but if you gave a procedurally generated version, man,
all over that.
We would not see Jake for months. Yeah,
we'd lose him forever.
Added some circus elements and a clown named Charlie, and then that's a fucking game of the year right there, guys.
Yeah, and a bunch of balloons.
Oh my God. Know what might be game of the year? How about everybody's favorite Pokemon ripoff, Pal World? It's getting its 1.0 update, guys. It's been in early access this entire time. When we saw that trailer, I think we all kind of said, "Is this Pokemon?"
Yeah. Well, I have played.
How have they not gotten away with that?
I have played the shit out of Pal World when it came out. We played that for hours and hours and hours. And I'm sorry, that game does not look like the cinematics in that trailer.
At all.
That game does not play like that at all.
Yeah.
It is fucking Ark with Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah, that trailer was very much false advertising, unless the game has changed in 1.0.
Yeah, unless they changed.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking power.
That trailer seemed very much like, screw you, Nintendo. We won. We're still going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They brought
we're
back
gonna
the
show-
balls.
Yeah. We're gonna show the globes like nothing else here.
Oh my god.
It's pretty crazy. Fucking Power World. I can't believe that's still going on. What else we got still going on? So Telltale Games was famously shut down a couple years ago, but it was brought back by new owners. And while a lot of the staff have moved on to other things, I think some of the staff who did Dispatch at Ad Hoc Studios are from Telltale. There are some original staff at Telltale and some new people, and they are basically making The Wolf Among Us 2. The reason why I bought Dispatch, I'll tell you, is because I heard all these great things about The Wolf Among Us, the first game, but it was the episodic nature of it that drove people crazy because you weren't sure if they were going to finish all the episodes because of various things. So I'm wondering how they do The Wolf Among Us 2. Is that going to be all of the episodes, or is it going to be one thing, or are they going to try the episodic tactic again? But the trailer looked really solid. So I think you have some fans of Wolf Among Us here.
Yeah. I love the comic graphic novel that it's based on, Fables. That is excellent. And Bigby, who is the character Big Bad Wolf in Wolf Among Us. So the whole premise is it's a gritty take on basically all of the characters from, like, the Fables, right, have been essentially kind of like kicked out of this planet or kicked out of this world. But there are a few that kind of transition back and forth, and Bigby's one of them. But you also have some that are kind of hiding out, which is really kind of what you get in the game as well. It genuinely had aspects that would change from episode to episode based on your choices. And like, it wasn't just like, oh, some dialogue was like, hey, I reference this. No, you may have a different character that you interact with later because you made a different choice, and so it's awesome. I loved the Telltale games, and they were all done incredibly well, but Wolf Among Us was probably their best, which is probably why they came back and they're doing number 2.
More likely,
Nice. Yeah. And it's cool because a lot of them, I need to finish this series for the podcast, but I was doing the Back to the Future set from Telltale. The Wolf Among Us has some fighting in it, which is very much quick time events.
Nice.
Where a lot of the other ones were very much just the point and click style. It wasn't that super like, hey, I may get clobbered if I don't press the right button
Dialogue
at the right
choices
time.
only. Yeah.
Right.
Did you play Dispatch at all, Sinstar? Or no?
I haven't. I intend to, but I haven't yet.
That had action sequences and combat and stuff with the quick time events. Dispatch is excellent. Right.
No, I'm excited for Wolf Among Us 2. And they did the remaster of Wolf Among Us 1, which might be pretty cool.
Comes out in December.
Yes. Yeah, they're doing all
Merry
the
Christmas.
previous episodes remastered in a bundled holiday this year, which is good. I might check that out. Next up, we have something. Finally, guys, something for the
Listen.
Gooners.
For the Gooners, did you say
something for the Gooners? I know the Gooner content on our channel is pretty low, but Chard is always standing up for the Gooners, and he's a big fan of Stellar Blade. And finally, he gets his wish. They get the sequel.
This game is good. It's a good game. It's no different than Nier Automata, okay, which had a crossover with
or Bayonetta. I was like, that's Bayonetta like fighting style.
Stellar Blade is a really good fucking game. It's a great story. It's a really interesting take, and it's got really cool combat. Just because there's a semi-attractive female as the lead doesn't mean that it's just for the goons.
No,
I
was
enjoyed
like
personality. Like a sex doll.
Anyway, they had butt flex physics. They had butt flex physics.
Sometimes you got to get that butt flex in, bro.
So this trailer, when it started out, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this steampunk cyberpunk? Is this what the hell is this? Oh, it's an action-y game. Okay. And then the moment she tosses off the jacket and you see the latex full bodysuit and the butt jiggle, you're like, Stellar Blade, okay.
Yeah.
Finally, for the Gooners. But instead
This
of
is
a
a great
blade, it's
game.
fists.
I love this game.
I will say this
It's a
looked more
great-
interesting than the first game. I will say that. Like, graphically, it's amazing, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
The combat in Stellar Blade is spectacular. The creatures are cool. The story is really great. I really enjoyed most of it. The voiceovers are goofy, but I thought it was a really cool take on some shit, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It reminds me of Blood Rain. Oh, not Blood Rain. Nier Automata.
Near Automata.
It's a cool fucking take on like post-apocalyptic bullshit. And there's some pretty good twists at the end that you're like, oh fuck, I didn't expect that to happen. I would, if anybody likes Soulsy combat type games, Stellar Blade is actually look past the surface look and dig into it because it's actually really fun. It's a really
we'll
cool
go
game.
past the surface. There's mods for that too on Mod Nexus.
Yeah.
For that PC release.
Yeah.
I'm just
You
telling
don't have to
it's-
wear
Judge
the
a boob by its
schoolgirl.
cover.
the amount of modding.
Yeah,
Not that I
you
would
don't
know
have
these
to wear the
things.
schoolgirl costume. There's
I
more
feel-
tasting.
I feel
of
another
costumes up there.
segue coming on.
Speaking of schoolgirl costumes,
Well,
Yeah.
so here's the thing about this one. So you guys know that I am just a master at Street Fighter 6, and my Sisyphean game a couple years back. I did not do my goal of diamond ranking in the year, sadly, but there's still hope for me yet. But anyway, there's DLC for Street Fighter 6, and
How many
they
times
announced
do
the
we
slate
have
of
to
fighters.
uninstall this one.
Well, they announced a slate of fighters that are fan favorites, guys. Tell me if you've heard any of these before. Yasmin from Street Fighter 6 and Bosch.
Sure.
Everybody knows Bosch.
Wasn't
Bosch.
he on? Wasn't Bosch that Amazon Prime television drama?
Yeah, okay.
So that I found out from I looked it up afterwards. Bosch and Yasmin apparently were in the World Tour mode. I just never got that
Oh.
far. I did not progress in
Okay.
Street Fighter 6 at all. Apparently in the story, I should go back and finish it. Anyway, the last character in the next season is of course everybody's favorite gooner, Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, which it still feels weird that of any fighting game, Tekken did not get Tifa, but Street Fighter 6 does. It's just wild to me. But yeah, they got Tifa. So
Capcom and Square seem to have their hands in each other's cookie jars quite a bit lately. So
That's
because
true.
we had a crossover on
Monster
Hunter where they
Yeah.
brought Omega over and you could fight
And
you could fight
Chocobos.
that. Chocobos
Yeah.
too. Yeah. They had a whole
It's
thing.
So-
it's also not Tifa's first fighting game.
That's true.
nope, Guys, right? Was the one she was in.
Yes.
So who made
She's
Ur
very
Guys?
familiar with
That's-
the fightings.
Square made Ur Guys though, right?
Yeah, it was I want to say Dream Factory that developed it and
Okay.
under Squaresoft.
So
Speaking of Squaresoft.
So Street Fighter 6 Tifa DLC looks interesting. I will go back to Street Fighter 6. They are stopping support of World Tour mode. They're not adding anything new to it after the current season. I guess they realized nobody plays it. So anyway, but yes, speaking of Tifa, the final game of the Summer Games Fest presentation was Final Fantasy VII Revelation. They also announced, for no reason at all, I'm just going to say they announced a sale of the earlier 2 episodes. So I know we have a combined squad goal as a team, as a unit, to all of us complete the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. And you guys can
I
jump
beat the
on
first
that
one
whenever
and
you
I'm
feel to.
fucking
Jake, I'll get right on it
Yeah.
after Dragon Slayer
Listen,
Ness.
if you buy it for me, I will fucking play it. But I am not
Okay.
spending money on that shit. Not
I
doing it.
will I will get right on it after Dragon Slayer Ness.
But
If
Final
it just
Fantasy
shows
VII
up in my Steam account, maybe we'll see.
It's not
Dude,
on
I don't
sale
even
on
want to play
Steam.
Rebirth. It's on Steam. Oh, and that was the big thing too. Is it's on sale on Steam. All 3 of them, or the first 2. Sorry, are on sale.
No, they're not.
They're not,
Incorrect.
I just looked.
or maybe
I
it's
will verify.
coming up on sale. I thought in the presentation they said it was on sale or coming up on sale.
Well,
Unless
it
it's the
also
Epic
may
Store.
mean it may mean on sale, not like on discount, but you can buy
Yeah.
them. It
No,
might
I'm
mean
pretty
you
sure it's on
can buy
discount.
them.
Anyway, it's fine. The focus was Revelation, the conclusion of the trilogy, and they said very clearly this is a conclusion of the story. So this is all we're going to get, and it's spring of next year. But what's
They
cool?
don't even finish it. They're just done.
They're just done. No more Final Fantasy ever.
It's done. It's done.
The cool. It's been a long episode. The cool thing with this this game is fuck. Now I lost my train of thought, Jared.
Sorry.
It's fucking Final Fantasy VII. What do you want? I'm glad
the
they're finishing
weapons-
it and not another console generation. I was worried this would be a PS6. This is what it was. I was worried it was going to be PS6 exclusive, but Rebirth, I think, didn't do so hot on sales. And I think in part of that was because they released a year before on the PS5 and then eventually came to PC. Whereas if they released it on everything, I think it would have done better. And I think Square agrees because Square announced every platform is getting this third game at the same time, which I think is a fucking smart move for Square for once. So.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, I have, as you guys know, Final Fantasy VII is the only Final Fantasy game I've ever beaten.
Yeah.
The original. And honestly, when I knew that they were splitting this into multiple games, I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. But I have to admit, the weapons looked pretty fucking badass in that trailer.
It's a cool game, but it's just
watching the weapons just slowly come at you across the
the way they looked a bit more organic than like Mecha Godzilla was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And like the gameplay of the High Wind, right? The airship that you get in the original game, it's here and it's open world. You can fly around, but the way you get off the ship is you can parachute off of the ship. That is fucking cool. That means it's all one. There's no load screens. You just drop them from the ship onto the ground below. Like Rebirth has an open world. It's very cool. But that's also my criticism of Rebirth was there's just so much going on in the map. It's overwhelming. There's like the radio tower equivalent. There's all kinds of hunts. Like it's just too much. I'm hoping they dial some of that back in the third game because I'm going to fucking play it. I have no choice. I have no choice. I have to see how the story ends.
Play the original.
Jake, who's got the gun to your head?
There's a Moogle right behind me with a shotgun, and he's got 3% chance. But the RNG says he's gonna fucking blow my head off if I don't finish Rebirth.
It's XCOM RNG.
RNG.
You better fucking play this.
So I'm screwed. So my thing now is, do I restart Rebirth? Because I put a fair amount of time into Rebirth and fell off it. I really don't want to. Fucking Cactar 999 right away. Anyway, I will say, like, graphically gorgeous. The music is fucking epic in these games. Like the remake does those things really good. I just don't like the bloating of the story, but Rebirth and this last one are probably not as bloated as the first game, because the first game was all Midgar, and that was the worst part of it. Rebirth is definitely better than the first game, and I'm looking forward to Revelation. I just hope the story is like fucking not stupid. That's my only thing.
Hope. I mean, who knew when I played this back in 1990, whatever, that this was 3 great games that somehow I played in one disc.
No, it was
4 discs,
3 discs,
4 discs.
Or well,
it was 3 discs.
That I was
discs.
able to buy as one game. I bought.
You can purchase all at once. Yeah.
I bought 3 games apparently as one game.
For what? I think I paid $53.86 for this back in the day.
Oh yeah,
probably
inflation. But like the difference though is like Rebirth is like a 60-70 hour game alone. The first game was like 30 hours. Does it need to be? Do we really want a 30-hour first game and a 60-hour Rebirth? No, but that's what it is. So it's not like you're not getting your money's worth at a game. There's a lot of game in Rebirth and Revelation. Is it the game you want? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I will say that the original one, I did max out the timer at 99.59.59. So,
okay.
I have to point out, I had to chuckle when they said that this was going to be Revelations, because I have named this game because they had Rebirth and whatever. I said that this game was going to be Revulsions.
Revulsions.
Yeah, I'll buy it when they put all 3 together and call it Recollection.
Reclamation.
They're going to do that. It's going to be happening. And you know what they'll do? They really spite my face. Is they'll make it so your progress carries from game to game to game. That's what.
I know, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Still pisses me off. You play all these hours in the first game, and you start up Rebirth, and you get fucking nothing. It's like. Anyway, we'll see what they do with Revelation.
That's a turnoff for me.
Yeah.
I didn't even play Golden Sun 2 for that shit.
Anyway, there's 2 games at the end of this list. Wolf, is that you?
Yeah.
You want to talk about these ones?
So, yeah, I'll be quick about them. So the first one is from the Mix Summer Game Showcase, which was a few days ago. That one is called Kumarn the Wandering Spirit. This looks a lot like Little Nightmares,
Okay.
but somehow simultaneously cuter and creepier at the same time.
Fantastic. Sold.
Like nuts and gum together again. That's a weird combo.
I'm gonna read you the Steam blurb real quick. A haunting Thai horror adventure. Play as Kumarn, a wandering spirit lost in a world of terrifying folklore and vengeful ghosts. With only his courage and loyal zebra, he must face his fears and search for a place called home. But like the scary shit in this actually looked scarier to me than what I've seen in the Little Nightmares games. To be fair, I've not played through either one of them.
Little Nightmares has some terrifying moments, genuinely.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Just in the trailer of this and showing the gameplay, it looked creepier than what I've seen of Little Nightmares based on that. And so
Sounds
or maybe just more legitimately scary. Maybe not necessarily creepier, but more off-putting.
Okay.
Right.
I'll have to look this one up.
Zebra and Kumarn go to White Castle.
Yeah, you see these two little guys, and they just like at first I was like, what is this horror Fraggle Rock thing happening? Because there's just two little guys and then a human, like it looked like a giant human trying to capture them and kill them. And I was like, these poor little dudes.
When Jim Henson goes bad.
Yeah.
That's so weird. It is like Jim Henson. It's almost like Nightmare Before Christmas style. I dig this.
All right.
Yeah, I like the style. This looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chard's gonna have to play this one.
This doesn't even have a date slated. It just says coming soon.
Well, I'll tell you when it's coming soon. Probably September. That seems to be what people are doing.
The other one,
Little Nightmares for sure.
Yeah. The other one I wanted to call out is one from the Latin American Game Showcase yesterday. Tempest Vitae. So this is a first-person Metroidvania time travel game.
That's so your game.
Yeah,
I know, right?
A little bit of everything for everybody in this.
So it's like if it were a first-person, if The Messenger were a first-person sci-fi game.
Ah, fuck. Don't tell me that. Okay.
You could jump back and forth between time eras and adjust things accordingly.
It's got like a cell shaded art style to it. This is pretty cool looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for those who want to look it up, Tempest Vitae, TEMPUS space VITAE.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of games, guys. There's a lot of games. This year's already been crazy for games, and it's just wild.
We've only had 9,265 games this year so far.
So what was it? At the start of the show, Keeley said, yeah, he brought the graph, right? And you're right. He said this year alone, 9,000. But then last year,
and this
it was
is
like
Steam only. Steam only.
Yeah. And then last year was like half that, if not less than that. And 2 years ago, it was like 2,000 games only. But I mean, we've done episodes on Steam Next Fest. And last time was really tough to find good demos because I felt like the Steam was overwhelming with AI slop or just crap asset flips.
Well, I think that's really that's where the 9,265 comes from. Is
there they are.
Probably a good 6,000 to 7,000 of those are just AI slop.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Steam puts in better controls on sifting through that stuff to find the games you actually want to play. So we'll have to see. But yeah. Guys, it's been a long podcast episode. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like our show and you enjoy Press B and you have a couple bucks you want to throw our way, check us out at patreon.com/pressb to cancel. We have several different tiers. I swear to God, we're going to do more backer videos. We need to get back to doing that.
Yeah, sorry. I'll get on.
We just haven't recorded anything because we're so tired.
Yeah.
And then today we did the stream for Summer Games Fest, so that's been a long day. But we do have other perks that are mostly related to Discord. You can color your name and whatnot, and access to secret channels where we give you a heads up on what we're thinking about doing in the future and get some feedback and ideas. There's one tier where you can add to our Wheel of Pain, which I need to start getting ready soon because this year is halfway done already. And pretty soon we have to look at those Sisyphean games and see who's been not diamond ranking their games like they're supposed to have been. That might just be me, actually, now that I think about it.
No, I haven't.
No.
touched mine in a couple days.
No? Okay, great. We can all spin that
Yep,
wheel.
I
Also,
haven't
Wolf,
finished
you
it.
also
I haven't
need to
started
play an
mine.
hour of Rascal, too. Don't forget. Rascal is very
Yeah, I
important.
do.
That's for content. We need that. Anyway, there's
Man's
also
been
tier-
moving. Leave him
There's-
alone.
Yeah,
Chop,
every
chop.
time I
Yeah.
think we're done, there's a new project.
That's how he
Uh,
gets out of the wheel of pain as he moves.
moves address.
We can still
Yeah,
find him though.
The great
can't
motivator
find me,
can't find
assholes.
you if you change your address. That's how it works. We have our Circus Charles tier, where if you back us at our Circus Charles amount or higher, we shout your name out at the end of the episode. And then we have 2 Circus Charles members. We have Von Beardley and Cthulhu. Sorry, guys, it's been a long day. Cthulhu's Jeff. Thank you both for your generous support, and thank you to all our Patreons. We do appreciate any support you throw our way. If you can't support us through money, that's totally cool. Especially in this economy, I get it. You can always support our show by just listening to the show, liking the posts on Blue Sky if you're there, liking us on YouTube, subscribing to YouTube if you haven't already. We're trying to grow the channel, or just telling a friend and family about 4, sometimes 5 idiots who do a podcast sometimes about video games. It's for some reason mentioned Tupac. I don't know why, or Nine Inch Nails.
And Trent Reznor.
And Trent Reznor. Fucking Trent Reznor, I tell you. Anyway, you can find our stuff at pressbuttoncancel.com, at youtube.com/pressbuttoncancel, or any of your favorite podcasting apps. And otherwise, do you guys want to shout anything out, or can I go to sleep?
Let's go to sleep.
No.
Well, this has been a 2-hour episode. You know where to find
Yeah.
all of us outside of this. We'll remind you next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll do stuff next week. Until next time, Tupac's back, Jack.